Buenos días, clase. Yo quiero hablar con ustedes sobre la cultura hispano. So today we are beginning our unit on culture. And the first thing I want to address with you guys is Hispanic culture through the history of dance. Now, I know it may be strange for a few of you to think, well, what is culture? And how does it apply to Hispanic dance? Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about this as we go through this PowerPoint. So here I have an example of Hispanic dance, which takes us to a video, and I'll be showing you that later on in class. You can look it up on the website. Unfortunately, we're running short on time here today, so we're going to move past this. So, what is culture? So, there are a lot of different definitions of what culture is, how we view culture, but the 2 points that I really want you to know, and you'll need this later on for a test, so I recommend writing this down in your notebook, it is that culture has evolved human capacity to classify and represent experiences with symbols and act imaginatively and creatively. So, what is imaginative and creative? Dance. Definitely. And culture definitely includes dances, art, music, history, traveling. These are all parts of culture, and these are all things that we're going to be discussing in this class period later on. Also, culture is the distinct ways that people living in different parts of the world classified and represented their experiences and acted creatively. So, students have been acting very creatively, and I think that's a wonderful thing. So here we're going to discuss Cuba, its history, and the significance of dance. So as you can see in this image here on the left, there's a woman dancing, and the long flowing dress is symbolic for the dance style mambo. As you can see, her attire is a mix of European and African dance clothing. So long flowing skirts, darker but bold colors. Since Cuba is located in the Caribbean, it's a mix of cultures. A mix of a European culture and a mix of African culture. And that's what really created the mambo and made it what it is. So why is this relevant? Why does this matter to us? Because music and art are two major things for Cubans. You have to remember that for a long period of time, and now even, Cuba is not a democratic society. It is not a democratic culture. It is under communism. So, back in the 1930s, and a little bit now, there are regulations on the types of styles and dances that people can do there. Because there aren't a lot of other realms for entertainment, dance was really kind of a rebellious movement that started. You know, almost all Cubans can play an instrument and can dance. But for a long time, this type of stuff was not allowed because it was seen as a threat to the government. So, because of that, dance grew underground and the mambo became revolutionary to Spanish culture. And it's incredible how much that affected the people living in Cuba. So, especially mambo started in Havana, Cuba. And that is the capital of the country. And as you can see, it's a beautiful dance style. There's beautiful colors. It's very bold. Next, I want to talk to you about Spanish dance and the rich history and culture that they have. So their main dance style is known as the flamenco. So most of you might have seen it as just being really fast-paced and a lot of stomping. That stomping is called tacón. So you use your heel and you push it towards the ground over and over and over again, stomping. Now, this dance style was actually super controversial. Now we know it as the traditional Spanish dance. But in fact, it was not created by just the Spanish. It was created by immigrants from the Iberian Peninsula who were gypsies and arrived in Spain. This is a mix of their style paired with the Spanish culture to create this dance. So, during the 20th century, for a long period of time, Spain actually did have a dictator. Not until the 70s were they actually a democratic society, and so for a long period of time, Francis Franco banned all things regional, including dance, music, and languages, which are all huge factors in culture. Culture can be very threatening to a lot of people because it's expressive, and if you are in a culture where being expressive is not allowed, then dance is a wonderful way for you to release all of that. And I also would like to point out underneath this photo on the left that you see of the woman dancing, right below that is a website that I have for you guys to look on later. It's on eHow website, and it's for practicing dances, and you'll see why you want to practice a dance later on. Here are some of the resources that I used, and I just want to show you here that it has to do with Spanish dance, and there's one on Cuban dance here in the LA Times, and they're both wonderful resources. They go more in depth, but I just wanted to point out a few key things to you guys. So, here's a rubric. This is another activity we're going to be doing in class, and we're going to be learning a dance because I think it's important to the culture. So we are going to learn the Sevillanas, Las Sevillanas. This is from an area of Spain, in the south of Spain, that is very expressive. They have a very different culture than the northern part of Spain where you saw that, the flamenco. So, it's a group project, but I'm going to show you to begin with. This is going to be based off of participation, your knowledge and movement of the choreography. I'll be showing you the choreography to begin with. As you can see, there's this rubric. I also have printed out copies that I'll give to you at the end of the hour. And so this is showing that you know the choreography, that you're able to stay on rhythm and tempo, that your movements are big. This is a big dance. The Sevillanas, lots of arms, lots of legs are being used. Shows energy and attitude. I want to see you guys participating. I want to see you guys doing, what you need to be doing. The level and the space. So you'll be 3 of you. So you're going to use all the space here that we have. And it's a group performance. So I want it to look as though you guys really used your rehearsal time. I want to see you guys showing me that you participated and that you're trying. Creativity and interpretation. If you come to class tomorrow wearing a traditional costume, and I want you guys to look up what the Sevillanas looks like. I'll show you a video later on in the hour, but I want you to look up some proper attire, and if you can find something that displays that type of culture, then there will be another 3 points here for creativity and interpretation. So, I want to have a class discussion with you now. I want to see that you have kind of learned a little bit about what culture is and also the importance of dance. So I have a question for you, and it's, why is learning a Hispanic dance a good idea if you want to relate to a culture? We discussed what a culture is, so I'd like you to use some form of that in your responses, and also maybe even a specific Hispanic dance. So, flamenco. You can talk about Spain and the flamenco. You can talk about Cuba and the mambo. Just talk to me a little bit about why this would be a good idea if you want to relate to a culture. Thank you for your time. The hour is about to be over. We have a few more activities we need to do and discuss. So let's get to it.